When you tell a global team member to do a task, a simple "please do this" is never enough. To get the exact result you want, you need a clear way to share the workload.
That is why today we look at how to structure your words for 4 specific situations. How to give urgent work without creating panic, how to break down a massive project into clear steps, how to grant full authority to a senior colleague, and how to guide a junior team member who made a past mistake.
Each situation requires a different approach in English to keep the project moving forward.
Let's start with that sudden problem where you need someone to stop their current workload and help you immediately, without sounding rude.
Let's look at our first scenario. A major client just called. There is a technical error on their website and it needs a fix before the end of the day. You need your team member to stop their regular task and fix this right now.
This is where many leaders make a mistake. They are stressed, so they say something like, "You stop that job now. Do this immediately. Very urgent."
That sounds very rude. When people hear those words, they feel nervous. They feel like a machine, not a professional team member. It causes unnecessary panic.
Exactly, Mia. It offers no context. A professional manager should use words that show respect for the person's current schedule while clearly explaining the timeline.
Let's listen to how a senior manager handles this.
Hi, Mia. Do you have a few minutes? We have a sudden issue with the client's website launch.
Hi, Thomas. Yes, I am free. What happened?
The server is down and the client cannot view the main dashboard. I know you have a lot on your plate today, but could you prioritize this over your current tasks?
I am working on the monthly report right now. Should I pause that?
Yes, please. This website fix needs to go live by 4 p.m. today. Can you manage that timeline?
Yes, I can switch to the website fix right now and finish the report tomorrow morning.
Perfect. I appreciate your flexibility. Let me know if you need any extra data from my side.
This approach is much better. Thomas did not just shout, "Do this now." He used a very polite phrase. "I know you have a lot on your plate."
Yes, that phrase simply means, "I know you are very busy." It shows that you see their hard work. Then look at the question. Could you prioritize this over your current tasks?
That is a great choice of words. You ask them to change the order of their work. You do not just tell them their current work is not important.
And finally, instead of giving a harsh order, you ask, "Can you manage that timeline?" This gives the employee a chance to check their availability and confirm the deadline with confidence.
Now, let's practice these key phrases together to build your muscle memory. Speak after us when you hear the pause.
Phrase 1.
I know you have a lot on your plate. Great. Let's do that one more time with a natural pace. I know you have a lot on your plate. Phrase 2. Could you prioritize this over your current tasks? Notice how Thomas stresses the word prioritize to show what is important. Let's try again. Could you prioritize this over your current tasks?
Now that the urgent problem is handled, our project moves to the next phase. This is where we face a different kind of challenge.
Yes. Once the emergency is over, the client gives us a massive, multi-step project. It is too large for one person to understand all at once.
If a manager just hands over a huge pile of work without breaking it down, the team feels lost and confused. In our next segment, let's look at how to guide your team through a very complex project without making them feel overwhelmed.
When a project is that large, a manager cannot just say, "Please do the design, then the marketing, and then send me the report." That is too broad, and people will feel lost.
You were right, Mia. If we give the team a huge pile of work with no clear steps, they will spend days just trying to figure out where to start. They need a roadmap, not just a goal.
But some leaders make the mistake of listing 50 small details at once. They try to control every single second of the work, which makes the team feel like they aren't trusted.
Exactly. The right way is to use structural words to divide the work into a few large parts and set clear dates to check the progress together. Let's listen to how a true manager coordinates a complex project.
Hi, Thomas. The team just received the brief for the regional product rollout. It involves 4 different countries and over 20 deliverables. Honestly, we are a bit unsure where to start.
I understand, Mia. It is a massive project with many moving parts. To make this manageable for the team, let's break this down into 3 milestones.
That would really help. How should we divide the first phase?
First, I want you to focus entirely on the market entry report for the first 2 countries. Let's aim to have that ready by next Friday. Do not worry about the marketing assets or the design phase yet.
Okay, that clarifies the immediate priority. But with so many cross-border updates, how do we prevent miscommunication?
To make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday morning for 10 minutes. I will also loop in the regional heads so you have a direct point of contact. Does that structure support your workflow?
Yes, Thomas. Having a clear focus and a set time to sync up makes the workload feel much more structured. I will schedule the first update.
That conversation felt completely different. Thomas sounded like a true leader. He took a huge, messy project and made it simple. He used the phrase, "Let's break this down into 3 milestones."
Yes. As a manager, your job is to remove confusion. Break down means to divide a heavy workload into smaller, clear pieces. And milestones are the main checkpoints on the map. Notice how Thomas told Mia exactly what not to worry about yet.
That was a very smart move. It stops the team from doing too many things at once. I also noticed how you set up the communication framework. You said, to make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday.
Exactly. Aligned means the leader and the team share the exact same understanding of the goal. And sync up means a quick, focused meeting to update each other. A leader sets a regular sync up so they do not have to check on the team every single hour.
Let's practice these executive phrases now to help you lead your next big project update with confidence. Please repeat after us.
Phrase 1. Let's break this down into 3 milestones.
Excellent. Let's try that again with a steady, commanding pace. Let's break this down into 3 milestones.
Phrase 2. To make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday.
Pay attention to how Thomas keeps his voice calm and structured. Let's repeat together. To make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday.
Once you establish this clear workflow and your team starts hitting those milestones, you will see that certain senior team members will master their roles very quickly.
Yes, they show high competence and they do not need a manager to guide them through every single step anymore. They are ready for more freedom.
This brings us to a very interesting shift in leadership. How do you step back and grant full authority to a skilled professional, using professional English, without making it look like you are avoiding your own responsibilities? Let's look at that in our next segment.
When you have a highly skilled professional on your team, you cannot treat them like a beginner. If you check their work every single hour, they will feel frustrated. They will feel like you do not trust their judgment.
You are so right, Mia. But on the other hand, some managers try to give freedom by saying, "You do this your way. I don't care. Just give me the results." That is a terrible approach. It sounds like the manager is just lazy and abandoning the team.
Exactly. There is a big difference between giving freedom and just walking away. A strong leader knows how to hand over full responsibility while still keeping the door open for support.
It is all about choosing the right corporate phrasing. You want to show that you respect their expertise, but you are still there as their leader if they face a major hurdle.
Let's listen to how this conversation plays out between a manager and a senior team member.
Mia,
I want you to take charge of the upcoming contract negotiation with our European partner. You have worked with them before, so I want you to lead the entire process.
Thank you for the opportunity, Thomas. We need to finalize the pricing structure and the delivery terms. Do you have any specific limits you want me to stick to?
I trust your judgment on this. I will leave the final decision to your expertise. You know our financial goals, and you know their team well.
That gives me a lot of confidence. I will aim for the standard margin, but stay flexible on the shipping dates to close the deal.
That sounds like a solid plan. You have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Perfect. I will draft the initial proposal today and keep you updated on the main outcomes.
This conversation shows how a leader gives real power without losing control. Thomas used a very strong phrase here. I'll leave the final decision to your expertise.
Yes. When you tell a senior colleague that you trust their expertise, you validate their position. You tell them that they have the knowledge to make the call. It makes them feel valued, not just managed.
And the way you closed the agreement was also very professional. You said, you have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Exactly. Full ownership means the project belongs to them. They are responsible for the success or failure. But by adding loop me in if you hit a roadblock, you tell them two things. Loop me in means to copy me on important updates, and a roadblock is a major problem they cannot solve alone. You are telling them, you are the boss of this task, but I have your back.
Let's practice these executive delegation phrases so you can support your senior team members clearly. Please repeat after us during the pause.
Phrase 1. I will leave the final decision to your expertise.
Very nice. Let's say it again with a calm, confident tone. I will leave the final decision to your expertise.
Phrase 2. You have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Notice how Thomas speaks smoothly without rushing the words. Let's try one more time. You have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Managing a top performer is a great experience because they can move fast with full ownership. But a corporate team is made of different people at different stages.
Yes, that is the reality. While one senior member is closing a major deal, you might have a junior team member who is struggling, or someone who made an unexpected mistake on their last task.
Giving a task to someone who made a past mistake is the biggest psychological challenge for a leader. If you remind them of their past error, you make them feel afraid and insecure. But if you do not guide them clearly, they might make a mistake again.
So how do we use constructive language in English to give a task to someone who needs to rebuild their confidence while ensuring the work is done perfectly? Let's look at this final critical situation.
When an employee makes a mistake, some managers cannot forget it. The next time they give that person a task, they say things like, you failed last time, so this time, be careful. Don't make mistakes again.
That is very bad leadership, Mia. Those words create fear. When an employee is afraid, they stop thinking creatively. They worry so much about making another mistake that they cannot focus on doing a good job.
Exactly. A true manager does not look back at the past error to punish the person. A true manager looks forward and uses the new task to help the employee build their skills and get better results.
It is about choosing supportive, clear language. You must change the control framework, not lower your standards.
Let's listen to how a senior manager rebuilds confidence while securing the project quality.
Mia, I want you to take the lead on the quarterly financial forecast for our logistics account. I know it is a complex task, but I want you to own this report.
Hi, Thomas. To be honest, I feel a bit hesitant.
The pricing discrepancies in my last financial report caused a lot of friction during the client review.
Do not worry about that, Mia. This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills. We have updated our guidelines, and I know you understand the core process well.
Thank you for your trust, Thomas. I want to ensure the data is flawless this time. How should we manage the review process?
Let's review the parameters together before you dive in. Instead of waiting until the final deadline, let's look at your initial draft on Wednesday morning. We can catch any data issues early before we submit the final file.
That makes a lot of sense. Having a draft checkpoint on Wednesday gives me a clear safety net to verify the numbers before the final submission.
Exactly. Focus on the core data structure first, and let's look at the draft together on Wednesday. You have my full support.
Wow, that is a professional approach. Thomas did not pretend the past mistake never happened, but he did not hold it over my head either. He used the phrase, "This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills."
Yes, stretch your skills means to try something that challenges you to grow and expand your capabilities. Notice that Thomas did not reduce Mia's responsibilities. He gave her the same big task, but changed how they work together to ensure her success.
That is the real value for a leader. You protect the project without making the employee feel over-monitored. And you introduced a smart way to control the quality by saying, let's review the parameters together before you dive in.
Exactly. Parameters are the rules, standards, or guidelines for a project. And dive in means to start doing a task with high energy and focus. By reviewing the parameters first and setting a draft checkpoint, the manager creates a clear framework. The employee gets the freedom to work, but the manager has a specific time to check the direction before it is too late.
Let's practice these high-level leadership phrases now so you can guide your team through challenging moments with absolute clarity. Please repeat after us.
Phrase 1. This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills.
Beautiful. Let's say it again with an encouraging, professional tone. This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills.
Phrase 2. Let's review the parameters together before you dive in.
Pay attention to how Thomas links the words dive in naturally. Let's repeat together. Let's review the parameters together before you dive in.
Mia, when I first started as a manager, I used to think that being a good leader meant checking every single detail of my team's work. I thought that was quality control, but it was just too much control.
It's time to learn that true control comes from setting clear frameworks, not from watching over someone's shoulder. For our viewers, which of these 4 delegation situations do you deal with the most in your office? Is it handling a fast-moving rush or managing a team member who needs to rebuild their confidence? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. We read your comments and we look forward to hearing your insights.
Now we arrive at our intensive review session. We have collected the 8 most professional leadership phrases from our 4 scenarios. This is your time to practice your delivery and voice control.
Remember, as a manager, your voice needs to sound steady and clear. Mia will read each phrase slowly first, so you can check the word order, and then I will read it with natural business intonation. Please speak out loud during each pause.
Let's begin with our first scenario. Phrase 1. I know you have a lot on your plate.
Listen to the natural rhythm. I know you have a lot on your plate.
Phrase 2. Could you prioritize this over your current tasks?
Focus on the word prioritize. Could you prioritize this over your current tasks?
Moving to our large project scenario, phrase 3. Let's break this down into 3 milestones.
Keep your voice structured. Let's break this down into 3 milestones.
Phrase 4. To make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday.
Note how the words flow together. To make sure we are aligned, let's sync up every Tuesday.
Now for the autonomy scenario.
Phrase 5. I will leave the final decision to your expertise.
Let your voice express trust. I will leave the final decision to your expertise.
Phrase 6. You have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Keep it steady. You have full ownership of this project, but feel free to loop me in if you hit a roadblock.
Finally, our mentoring scenario. Phrase 7. This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills.
Speak with an encouraging tone. This is a great opportunity for you to stretch your skills.
Phrase 8. Let's review the parameters together before you dive in.
Set the direction clearly. Let's review the parameters together before you dive in.
Fantastic effort. Practicing these structures regularly will help you sound natural and composed during your team meetings.
To close our session today, let's remember one thing. Clear communication in a global team is never about how many complex words you know.
That is true, Thomas. It is about creating a clear framework where your team understands their exact focus and feels respected at the same time. The words you choose as a manager define the workflow of your entire project.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. If you want to refine your communication and build your leadership vocabulary, we post new video on this channel every single week.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode.
And remember, every workplace culture is unique. Please treat these guidelines as a helpful reference and adapt them flexibly to fit your specific professional situation.
Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a great week with your team.
Goodbye, everyone.